Did you know that soil can have stress? Just like us, they need nutrients to grow properly. Find out what affects the soil and why it's important to test. So let's open up this can of worms in this week's Someone You Should Know.
Students in the biology department are currently involved in specific experiments to wrap up the semester. Vanessa Fran, an environmental science major, explains the basis of her group's study.
So we're measuring soil based on stress levels. So we're having 3 different levels of moisture, low, medium, and high, in 2 different temperature settings at 25 degrees Celsius and 30 degrees Celsius, basically to see which one provides more nutrients, to see which one has optimal growth for plant life. And then after 7 days of incubation under these temperatures and moisture levels, we took CO2 samples and we are injecting them with substrates such as more water and glucose to see how that affects the soil output of nutrients.
Although this may seem like an easy study to complete, there are tedious steps that need to be followed in order to maintain accurate results.
We took about 15 grams of our sample per sample and weighed it out in a tin machine or in a tin can, and we are drying it out in this incubator for 7 days, and then we're going to weigh it after the 7 days to see how much moisture was in each sample to determine if they were able to respond well to stress levels and still respirate.
The goal of this experiment is to measure the soil's response to stress levels. With a few simple materials and a short 7 days, you will have some results. After the samples have incubated long enough, they are ready to be tested one more time. Vanessa breaks down the results for us.
So we found that high moisture, when measuring CO2s at the same concentration, high moisture at the 25 degrees actually does have more CO2 output, which means that that soil is respiring more than when it has less moisture because it's in stressful conditions when it has less moisture. CO2 output that it possibly could have gone was 3,200, whereas the high had a possible maximum of 3,300 and 500.
If you're interested in getting involved with this atmosphere, check out the biology department in Olin to learn more about your environmental or scientific endeavors. For BUTV News, I'm Elise Holskoff.